Hey everyone, this is Tim again. Today or this evening I'm going to show y'all how to make a two-tone dessert. It's very good, a lot of compliments and stuff. It's really easy, it just takes a little time. So let's get over here, I'm going to show you everything that you're going to need. It's not a whole bunch, Like I say, you need an 8-ounce thing of Cool Whip. You need some all-purpose flour, you need some Jell-O, chocolate, and butterscotch. Now the chocolate, you can use a smaller box for that, but I prefer for the bigger one. And of course you need some finely diced walnuts, a stick of butter, and some powdered sugar, and some cream cheese. And that's really about it, other than a baking pan, or a cake pan. And well, let me go ahead and start getting everything ready. Alright, let's go ahead and start off with the crust. That's pretty much the first thing that you have to do, of course. And with the crust, what it's going to take is you need a half cup of walnuts, chips or crushed. You need a cup of flour, 1 stick of butter, and 1 cup, well, that'd be it for that. Anyway, you mix all that stuff together, and the reason why there's so much in there is I'm making 3. That'd be 1 for each of my neighbors because they're wonderful and stuff, and be Christmas Eve tomorrow, and I'll just go ahead and give them that. But anyway, you mix all this stuff up, and I know it's a pain, especially with the butter and everything, but you mix everything up and then you pat it in a pan, and I'll show you that in just a few minutes. Not a big deal. Well, I've mixed everything, and this is what it looks like. And again, this is enough for 3. So when you pat the stuff in a pan, it's going to be it's very thin. There's really not a whole lot of flavor to it. I tried graham cracker crust at one time, and it didn't hold together. It just wasn't good. Also, I used after I patted it in, I figured it might have to be just a little bit thicker, and it would end up being like a cookie that really didn't have a whole lot of flavor to it, and it wasn't good. So this is what it's supposed to look like. And getting ready to pat some in a pan, and I'll show you that after I'm done. Alright, here's everything patted in a pan. Like I say, it's extremely thin, not a whole lot to it. And we're going to go ahead and place that in the oven at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes. You don't want it to get really charred up. It's going to shrink up a little bit, but that's okay. But you don't want it overcooked where it's like, you know what I'm saying, burnt on the bottom, of course. So, like I say, keep an eye on it, but it's 15 to 20 minutes. And I'll show you what it's all about when we're done. Alright, the next step is to make up the first layer. This is going to be 3 layers, alright? Because you're going to have the crust in, you're going to have the cream cheese and the powdered sugar in there, and then you're going to use the pudding. The chocolate will be the next layer, butterscotch will be the layer after that, and then you spread it with Cool Whip. But and again, I'm doing 3, so that's why there's a whole lot in there. But what you use is use a cup of powdered sugar, use a cup of Cool Whip, and you use one package of Philadelphia cream cheese. I advise you to leave it out for a little while. It gets really soft, a whole lot easier to work with. And then I kind of cut it up into chunks and stuff as well. But you can do this while your crust is cooking, which I kind of did. But here's what a crust kind of looks like, or I should say looks like when it's done. Just a little bit on the edges. It shrunk up just a little tiny bit, not a big deal. If you're really in a big hurry, you can put these in the freezers to cool them down, because you definitely can't put the stuff on while the crust is warm. That just ain't gonna happen. So well, let me get going here. I'm gonna mix this stuff up. Definitely use a mixer for this. Man, it'll wear you out if you ain't got one. And I'll show you a little bit of something here in just a few minutes. Here's the end result of that. Like I said, you mix that stuff up, you make just a wonderful cream. And I mean, it's really hard not just to dig into it right now. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to transfer it into a smaller bowl, because I don't have but 2 big mixing bowls. Because next we start doing the puddings. And when you do the puddings, just follow the directions, 2 or 3 cups of milk, and just beat everything down. And I'm going to put this in the refrigerator because you definitely want it chilled down a little bit, along with the puddings, as you know. when you finish up that stuff, and just wait for everything to cool down, and then I will show you how to assemble it. All right, we're getting ready to assemble these fine desserts, and we're going to start off using the cream cheese and the powdered sugar and the Cool Whip mix, and go ahead and spread it on. Keep it, and again, remember, I'm doing 3, so you're not going to have that much in a bowl, of course, but yeah, we'll go ahead and spread them around and stuff, and then I'll show you the next stage, which is really simple. It's going to be the puddings, but I'll be back to you in a bit. All right, here's the first phase. I'll give you all a gander of it. It's just, like I say, cream cheese, powdered sugar, and blah, blah, blah. I'll go ahead and type all that stuff up and leave it on the end of it if y'all want. But there's first, getting ready to add the chocolate to it. Not so hard, but like I say, you don't want it to get warmed up, because then it just, you try not to get everything all smeared together, if you know what I'm saying. Alright, talk to you in a bit. Alright, here's another phase of it. Just go ahead and spread that chocolate out up on there. I mean, do the best you can, of course. I mean, it might bleed through with the cream cheese underneath, but if you use the big boxes of chocolate pudding, it'll go a lot further. You can cover a whole lot. Now the next phase is going to be the butterscotch, and there's not much of it, so you just got to kind of spread it best you can. I'll talk to you in a bit. We're back. I just went ahead and put the butterscotch on top of it, and a little bit thinner than chocolate, of course, because it was a smaller box. But we'll go ahead and get that done. I'd made a mistake. I didn't leave the Cool Whip out long enough for it to kind of soften up, because that's what's going to go on top. And if it's too cold, as soon as you start pressing on it, it's going to pull your chocolate up and your butterscotch. It kind of matters to me. It may not matter to you, but anyway, that's why. Just got to let it warm up just a little bit, and I'll show you here in a little bit. Just finished up now. Like I say, you just put the Cool Whip on top of everything. It's going to bleed through. You'll see what I'm talking about if you try and do this stuff. But I use a lot more Cool Whip than what it calls for. It just calls for like a 9-ounce container. You can only find an 8-ounce now. But I just use a lot of it. And like I say, it's easy for the top. It's nothing to it. Now I will tell you this: if you're watching your sugar, this is not for you. If you're trying to watch your weight, and again, this is really not for you. This stuff is very rich. It's heavy. It's really daggum good though, and I'll see if I can figure out how to put the recipe on here following this. All right.